And, my understanding is it was an Islamic wedding, and someone was trying to say, well, it's just cultural dress, doesn't have anything to do with Islam. Put it in context, put all the pieces together. I've said for a long, long time, Barack Obama was a Muslim, is a Muslim. There is no question going to a madrasa in Indonesia. Every child in a madrasa in Indonesia says the Shahada. And if someone were to actually ask Barack Obama, have you ever said La ilaha illallah wa Muhammad Rasulullah? He would say, well, of course I did. There's no question about it. So from a historically Orthodox, especially Sunni perspective, since he does not observe any Islamic beliefs, calls himself a Christian, he is a murtad, he is an apostate. And the historically consistent penalty for being an apostate in Islam is death. I do not believe Barack Obama is a Christian by any stretch of the imagination. His actions, his beliefs, his defense of partial birth abortion, his statements about the Bible and Revelation make it very clear that he is a leftist. He is a secularist. Remember his pastor? Went to a church with black liberation theology and all of its wild, craziness that comes with it. And so, there's this big talk about, he's a Muslim. No, he's not. But he was, and he clearly has a sympathy culturally toward Islam that then I think is fed into by his rather communist background that made him go on the apology tour as soon as he was elected president. And so I think that's what's behind a lot of this stuff that you see going on there. Okay, so now here's going to be the tricky part. I'm going to go ahead and play this. I'm going to hope I think I'm going to have to turn this up for this to work. But I'm just going to play a brief portion of the polemics report from He Who Judges from Afar. Just a brief section. It's 3 minutes and 25 seconds in to this. This was only texted to me a couple hours ago. I did not have the opportunity. I downloaded it, found the quote, and maybe I'll listen to all of it later on. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I'm getting sort of sick and tired of it, to be perfectly honest with you. But I might have time. I've got a lot of driving to do over the next couple of weeks. So going from here to Santa Fe, Salt Lake back here home. So yeah, I could probably fit it in there someplace, though I have a whole lot more interesting stuff to be listening to. But we'll find out. Anyway, here is from the polemics report at 3 minutes and 25 seconds in. I'm just going to play a brief section here. Hopefully it will be audible to everyone.
Which is how I organized the podcast. I was going to read them to you from people saying, listen, JD, I'm with you 100%. I can't believe that for some reason people are finding a Tattoo Booze fundraiser in the video chiefly put out by Marcus Pittman as being appropriate.
Okay, did you catch that? A Tattoo Booze fundraiser. Here's what is really, really, really concerning me about this situation. Last week, I addressed Pastor Hall directly, and I said, look, you are operating on the basis of false information. Sadly, I have had to come to the conclusion that he's in collusion with the Christian News on this because ironically, the one person quoted in the Christian News article to sort of give the other side, they didn't bother actually contacting Jeff Durbin, though, as Jeff today published, all of the conversation between himself and Mr. McCavish, I just direct you to that, and you can see how transparent Jeff was. And you can see why we have said from the beginning that there was a bias and a prejudice involved in the original article, which there was, obviously. The title itself was just inexcusable. But I addressed JD and I corrected that exact error. There is a conflation of something at ReformCon, which again was a fundraiser, but had nothing to do with what happened a few weeks later. There is a conflation of two things to create a false impression. This is documented. This is not debatable. This is not an argument. Pastor Hall cannot argue this because he is ignorant. He is at a far. He is basing his comments upon an article from people who also are ignorant. And the people that were there have spoken, and spoken clearly to the issue. And so they don't care about that, evidently. And it's sad to me. I think he was given an opportunity, Pastor Hall had an opportunity to once again dial back the rhetoric and say, given what I understood, here were my concerns. If the reality was different, then okay, but my concerns remain valid in other contexts. And like I said, I agree with a lot of the things that he said. Just the fact that it had nothing to do with Apologia, Jeff Durbin, what happened that evening, et cetera, et cetera. Instead of dialing it back and doing the gracious thing, Pastor Hall has decided to do what pretty much all of Pastor Hall's critics did when they falsely accused him from afar in regards to the Cantor situation. So that's what just breaks my heart about this, is I rightly defended JD when people from afar went on partial information, didn't know the background, didn't know the context, didn't know the motivations, and ravaged the man. And he was ravaged. Evidently, what breaks my heart is he's decided that, you know what? If people can do that to me, I can do it to others. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's what he's doing. And I can't do that. That's not a possibility for me. It shouldn't be a possibility for anybody, to be perfectly honest with you, but it is sort of how our world works today. And so I'm not going to repeat everything that I said on the last dividing line. Jeff Durbin has written an article. He's posted material. Other people have posted a few things as well. I will just simply repeat this. If I have to be associated with someone, I want to be associated with men and women who may be